Today, the #1 Rampart is answering your most important questions. All right, first one we got from Violini Thingy. What are your favorite creative uses for her amped covers?
You can use her walls, especially on fragment buildings, to go up. You keep playing the character and you see like, maybe I should, like can't go up there but cannot reach the place. You can use your wall and you can actually reach the high place, especially on fragment. There's like some type of building where you can either reach it without the wall, but let's say you want to like go more faster, for flank or something, you can use the wall for that. Don't forget that the walls can be used for super glide too, if you've practiced well enough.
Sticking on the topic of Rampart's passive from earlier, from Auto has a question. Do you think if Rampart's passive applied to a variety of weapons, it would help her out more?
I don't know, like they have to like find a balance, because I feel like she can, if I should add that passive, like the real passive she got for LMGs, I could feel like they can add that to the auto rifles. That would be really nice.
Okay, Salty Comment wants to know what the best and worst maps are to play as Rampart, and how do you approach each map?
I don't think, for me personally, I think there's like no worst map for her, to be honest. Every map has at least like one high ground place where you can just place the walls like up there and dominate the area. But the only problem is with some maps that they released that there's some like bugs on it that you cannot place the wall for whatever reason. Because I remember on Olympus you could not place the wall in the tunnel and they fixed that. And on Stormpoint you cannot place the wall near the mall of respawn for a reason. But for me there's no worst map.
X0699, in your opinion, what is the best weapon in team comp for Rampart?
I don't play competitive, but I would just say, like go for short rifle, longbow, sniper, especially on those end games. The walls are gonna be there and the sniper damage behind those walls are insane. So on my team, personally, if you wanna just fully rush, you can have Pathfinder, you can have an Octane. So it just depends on your playstyle. If you wanna play like full defense, you can just have a Caustic, Watson, Catalyst, or your team. If you wanna just go and grind kills or something, you can get a Loba, you can get like an Octane or something for pushing fights quickly. Some sort of that.
Okay, Blazing Killer wants to know when the best time to use her ult is it?
Open RS or third parties, inside buildings, because not many people is aware of this, but if you use Sheila behind a door, Sheila will just blast the door. It's kind of been out for so many seasons and you can still see people stand still behind the door. For her ult, now that it's mobile, I still recommend using the placement, especially when you're about to like do a third party with like the open area. Let's say you are like on top of the building, you see a couple of people fighting like far range. So you can use the mobile version, but don't forget to place. Like use that extra like almost 200 bullets she had, so you can fully like eliminate the squad from range.
All right, Sari always finds themselves trying to throw down shields for cover mid-fight, but keeps getting killed before the shield is fully up. How do you use your shields, and do you ever use them in the middle of a battle?
It's a little bit risky, but you will see the reward on it. It's like, if you're playing like an open area, you see the enemy keep destroy your walls, try moving side to side, like don't place the walls on the same place or like on the same, let's say for example, like the same area you are, and place a wall there because the enemy might be focusing your teammates, not you. But if you're, let's say they're shooting you and you place a wall, try moving to the side because the enemy will tend to shoot you, but not the wall, because they're focused on you. And by the time the enemy have to reload their gun, your wall is already up. So you can get the cover, the amped, or you can heal behind it.
All right. Jin William wants to know how you combat people trying to use your own walls against you when you have to move from your spot, but you don't have time to necessarily pack up your cover.
That's a good one. So here's the thing. It's like a 50-50 situation. Good beam on the enemy and you will try to push and knock the enemy, but you left your wall behind you. I could say like let the wall there, but that depends on how far you will go from your wall, because if you're going way too far from your wall, just take it out. But if you feel like the wall should stay there just in case the enemy try to push you back, you can still have that wall and you can jump wall and use that as a cover, and dampen is there. But I will say like just depend on how far you will go.
All right, Bree C wants to know, do you think they should nerf the amp wall health in exchange for faster setup time?
That would be interesting because the walls right now are really strong, but I don't mind it because this is all I ever wanted. Like many Rampart mains wanted like a hole on the wall and like more faster deployment, and I feel like she's really like the wall is really balanced right now. That would be really insane.
Yeah. All right, Ethics wants to know how you feel about Rampart competing with the other controller legends at owning space.
Yeah, like in my opinion, all of them are good. Like right now, Caustic, Watson, Rampart, Catalyst are especially really strong inside building for holding it. But in the open areas, I can say Rampart is better. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Reese Jones wants to know if you're already sick of Rampart's new voice line every single time she picks up a nemesis.
Not really. The people that I play with still haven't said that. They're just sick of hearing, but I just feel like it's fun, you know, make the character like more alive or something, you know, like more interaction. I feel like they should have more interaction with, especially with Valkyrie. She's been there, she created her jetpack, so I prefer like, I don't know, add more interaction because the Mirage and Raid interaction are really old right now.
Mr. Gold wants to know if your teammates say the only reason that you have the most damage is because of that minigun.
um, Not really, because right now I barely use Sheila. If I'm about to fight a squad and I see the opportunity that I might get that knock, I pull out Sheila. You know, my teammates have never like asked me something like that or something.
All right. I wants to know, what do you think is Rampart's biggest weakness in her abilities?
Biggest weakness, I could see like how slow she move on, you know, using mobile Sheila, but that's the balance because she's moving with a turret, and I can say her only weakness is just like a really aggressive player that knows how to fight and counter Rampart, like I said.
We got a question from Tank. What is the biggest mistake that you see other Ramparts making?
I don't know, because lately I've been seeing Rampart, they know how, like right now, like especially in this season, I've been seeing like Ramparts, you know, and they've been really good with walls, placement and everything. Like they understand now the character. But sometimes I see Rampart using Sheila in the open, and like I say on the previous question, you are really slow, so you're an easy target to get knocked. So you know, like I can say like for our Ramparts, go all ham with Sheila because that all didn't say, but be careful using it because you're just an easy target.
Drip has a question here. Rate the Rampart heirloom 1 to 10.
Well, 100 out of 10. This is the best heirloom.
Really? You think it's the best?
It's definitely an 80. It's a really good heirloom. Like, I respect everyone's opinion, but I just don't understand when people say, you know, when I see tier lists, I don't understand when people put their Rampart heirloom below C tier or D tier. Like, nah. There's no way. Her animation, voice line, like it has her personality on her heirloom. Like, it's really cool, to be honest.
There might be, there's no bias coming from you since you play Rampart all day, right?
Ah, man. Yep. It's heirloom for me. It's 100 out of 10.
Okay. All right. Manic wants to know, do you like to land at Rampart's POI? And if so, what guns do you like the most from there?
It just depends. If I see the ship that actually like spawn on top of Big Mount, I'll go there. Like, you know what? Let me just go there. I'm tired of fragment already. Like, I'm really tired of landing fragments, so let me just land on Big Mount. I like the interaction that it has. Every Rampart lander, you can see all the art and everything. And the guns, I mean, all Rampart guns on Big Mount, especially the legendary ones, are really insane.
All right. Nate wants to know how you properly can play your walls to win 1v3s.
If I'm in a building, I try to look for walls because the player will tend to just fully aggressively push you, especially if they crack your shields. If you're in a building, if they do this, try to find a wall. Close the door, place a wall, and just get out Sheila. You will definitely get one knock and potentially two knock because either like one person push you or two person push you. And after you get those two knocks, you can go as well heal and push the third, and hopefully you win the 1v1. But for a 1v3 situation, that just depends how aggressive the players, you know, like the team players will just push you. Because if they push you, like if the three of them push you, yeah, GG's. You go into the lobby, but a door will be your best friend on a 1v3.